Come and listen to my story about a man named Jed. A poor mountaineer barely kept his family fed. And then one day he was shooting at some food, and up to the ground come a bubbling crude oil, that is, black gold, Texas tea. Well, the first thing you know, old Jed's a millionaire. The kinfolk said, Jed, move away from there. Said, California is the place you ought to be. So they loaded up the truck and they moved to Beverly Hills, that is, swimming pools, movie stars.
The Beverly Hillbillies.
I'm sorry you didn't get to do no mousing for no movie stores.
None of us get to do nothing for nobody.
Well, Jed, do you still think you can make friends with these Beverly Hills folks?
I gotta admit, it ain't easy.
Jethro, did you keep track like I done told you?
Yes'm, Granny. We went to 27 places.
And what happened? Tell them, Jethro.
I know, Granny, I was there.
Tell him, Jethro, so he won't forget.
Well, at 14 places, we didn't even get through the electric gates. At 8 others, we got through and then got chased out by dogs.
Are you listening, Jed?
Granny, I was there.
Tell him, Jethro.
That leaves 5. At 3 of them, we got mean-mouthed by the butler. The other 2, one turned the hose on us and one called the police.
Want to hear it again, Jed?
No.
Is we ready to go back home to the hills where we belong?
I am.
Well, I'm not. I'd be out of place back there with them country people. I'm done become what you call a big city boy.
Now listen, big city boy. If your Uncle Jed says we's going home, we's going home.
Well, I ain't said it yet. Gotta study on it first and talk to Mr. Drysdale.
Mr. Drysdale. It was his wife that turned the hose on this.
Turned the hose on them? Now, you listen to me. You get right over to the Clampetts and get down on your knees and apologize to them, and that is an order. And if my wife sees you, I'm getting a new butler.
Excuse me, Chief. Mr. Lester is here again.
Who?
Leroy Lester. He's the little bookkeeper who's been trying to see you for so long.
What about?
Well, it seems he's being replaced by a computer. And...
All the bookkeepers are being replaced by computers. Didn't he receive the mimeograph notice?
Well, yes, Chief, but Mr. Lester has been with the bank for 47 years. He was hired by your father. If you could just have a word with him.
Oh, all right.
Come in, Mr. Lester. Mr. Drysdale will see you now.
Oh, I can come back if Mr. Drysdale...
No, it's all right. Come in.
But I don't want to be a father.
Well. So you're Lester Leroy.
Chief, it's Leroy Lester.
Oh, that's all right, whatever Mr. Drysdale says.
What's on your mind, Lester?
Well,
Speak up.
As I told you, Chief, Mr. Lester is being retired to make way for automation in the bookkeeping department.
Oh, lucky you. Now you can take it easy. You'll be getting a nice, big, fat pension check every month.
I will?
Well, certainly. You qualify for government Social Security, don't you?
Yes, sir. I thought you meant I'd be getting something from the bank.
Oh, well, you will. You will. We're not going to forget 47 years of faithful service. He qualifies for something from the bank, doesn't he? A tie class, fountain pen, something like that?
Actually, Mr. Lester is entitled to receive a gold watch.
Oh. Are you sure?
Yes, Chief. Solid gold.
I hear those new stainless steel watches have got them all beat. Shockproof, waterproof. Swim a lot, do you? Oh, it's great exercise. Take a few lessons. Meanwhile, I'll have your watch engraved with your name on it in nice big letters. Lester Leroy.
Thank you.
Chief, it is Leroy Lester.
Oh, if Mr. Drysdale likes it better the other way, I can change it. Well, thank you again. Goodbye.
Mr. Lester, you haven't told Mr. Drysdale what you've been waiting all these weeks to say.
But he's busy.
Oh, speak up. What is it?
Well,
He'd like to go on working. He feels he can be of real service.
I'd be willing to give up the watch, even the raise you gave me.
When did I give him a raise?
In 1963, when the government increased the minimum wage law. Now, surely there is something Mr. Lester can do. He's always been our finest bookkeeper, an absolute whiz at figures.
Well, all right. Just call me an old sentimentalist. Lester?
Yes, sir.
One day a month, you can go to my house and straighten out my wife's checkbook.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Miss Hathaway.
Chief, you are not serious.
I certainly am. Tell him he can start today. Of course, I can't pay him what he's getting here, but he can use the pool.
You are all heart.
And get him one of those stainless steel watches. And I guess I'm just an old softy.
Paul, how many critters can I take back home with us?
Oh, I'd say as many as you can fit in here comfortable without scrapping. Why don't you fetch some out and try it on for size?
Yes, sir, Paul.
Get the truck greased, boy?
Pretty near. I run out of possum fat.
Granny, I'll give you some more.
Uncle Jed, I gotta talk to you. We ain't really going home to the hills, are we?
Well, I kind of think we ought to give it a try. Granny's had it in her craw for a long time now.
Gee whiz, Uncle Jed. Just between us men, I got me a real problem.
What's that?
I'm in love.
Who with?
Pretty near every girl I see.
Well, then I reckon it can't be too serious.
But there are 4 or 5 girls that I'm desperate in love with. In fact, I done asked them to marry me.
All of them?
Yes, sir.
What if all 5 of them says yes?
Wouldn't that be something?
Yeah, that'd be something, all right. Appears to me like this might be a good time for you to get out of town.
What am I going to tell my sweethearts?
Well, the smartest thing would be goodbye. And the quicker, the smarter.
Boy, Mrs. Drysdale's maid sure is going to be heartbroken. She's going to fling her arms around me and hang on and beg me not to go and smother me with kisses and bawl and carry on.
Yeah. The way some of these girls say goodbye makes leaving them right worthwhile. Get going, boy.
Yes, sir.
Hi, Mr. Lester.
Oh, hello, Miss Trigo.
Where are you going?
Oh, up to Mr. Drysdale's house. It's such a beautiful day, I thought I'd put the top down.
Is this your car?
Well, not yet. I still have 3 years of payments to make to the bank.
Mind if I ride to the corner with you?
Oh, no, certainly not. Here.
No, that's all right. Stay there. I can get in.
Oh, all right.
Now, Elmer, you stop that shoving. Little Arnie's got to have room, too. Now, come on, ride back home. And remember, if Eleanor lays an egg, it's share and share alike.
How's it going, Ellie?
Well, Paul, I think I'm going to have 15 or 20 critters left over.
Well, then you'd best commence finding homes for them. What about Bessie here?
Well, I figured she could sit with us and spell Jethro with the driving.
We'll have to see about that.
Hey, Paul, we got company. Yonder comes a car up the driveway lickety-split.
Ain't that queer? You can't even hear the engine running.
Put your brakes on, little fella.
Oh, howdy there. You got car trouble?
Well,
He got stalled in Miss Drysdale's driveway, and she couldn't get her limousine out. And she went to mean-mouthing him something awful. If I hadn't come along, I'll bet she'd have turned the hose on him.
Well, don't let that bother you. She done hosed us down once today. My name is Jed. This here's my daughter, Ellie. I reckon you met Jethro.
Howdy.
hello.
Don't believe I caught your name.
Oh, it's Lester. Leroy.
Oh, Lester Leroy.
Well, that's close enough.
Come on inside and set a spell, Mr. Leroy. Jethro will fix your car for you.
Well, I don't have much money.
Why, you'd insult Jethro if you offered him any money.
No, he wouldn't.
Fiddles is ready. Come and get him before... Jed, did you go and buy a sporty car just when we's leaving?
Oh, Granny, this sporty car belongs to this gentleman right here, Mr. Lester Leroy.
Oh, well, come and take Fiddles with us, Mr. Leroy.
Oh, no, thanks. I don't want to be any trouble.
It's on the table.
Well, you go ahead. I'll be all right.
Well, now, we sure don't aim to let you sit out here whilst we eat. Come on.
Oh, no, but I don't want to impose on anybody.
We'd be glad to have you. Come on.
Oh, no. I'll just wait right here.
Jethro, the Fiddles is getting cold. Fetch him in.
You rang, Chief?
I sure did. I want an immediate audit run on the books of that little playboy embezzler, Leroy or Lester, whatever his name is.
Playboy embezzler. Poor mousy little Mr. Lester.
I'll tell you how poor he is. He has one of those expensive hobbies going.
What's that?
Restoring antique automobiles.
Chief.
He was seen driving away from this bank in a 1919 runabout. And as for being mousy, get this. He took that beautiful Miss Trigo with him.
Well, perhaps he needed some help with your wife's checkbook.
Ah, that's a laugh. I talked to the butler. He never even got to the house. If you ask me, he and his sweetheart are headed for Mexico.
Chief, Mr. Lester is old enough to be Miss Trigo's grandfather.
And rich enough to be her sugar daddy. No wonder he didn't want to retire. He's got a gold mine here. And he's been working the claim for 47 years.
I'm sure this is all a mistake.
Then where's Miss Trigo? I just called. She's not at her desk.
Well, perhaps it's her lunch hour.
And you wonder why I'm replacing people with computers? Computers don't take lunch hours. They don't even take coffee breaks. And best of all, they don't run off to Mexico with your money and your beautiful secretary.
This is all too incredible to believe.
Oh, yeah? Well, you order that audit and alert the highway patrol. Ooh, I'll bet right this minute that peewee playboy is sitting at some resort hotel stuffing himself with caviar and champagne.
Have some more grits and jowls, Mr. Leroy.
Oh, no, thank you. I've already had one helping.
Have another.
Well, it is awfully good. I don't know when I've had so much delicious food.
Why, you ain't hardly had enough to feed a baby bird.
Don't you eat this good at home, Mr. Leroy?
Ellie, that ain't no kind of question to ask. I reckon ain't many people eat this good.
Let me give you some more of these pickled crawdads.
Well, just a few. I'm not used to so much rich food, you see. I usually have just a half a can of beans for lunch.
What do you have for supper?
The other half.
That ain't eating.
Well, you see, my landlady won't allow me to cook in my room.
Why don't you move out?
I don't think she'd let me. Oh, not that I'd want to. You see, I get my room for $2 a week.
That kind of money, you can't even cook?
No, sir.
At that price, they ought to throw your meals in.
I'd move if I was you.
Well, now that I'm not working, I guess I will have to find some place less expensive.
Speaking of working, I best get busy on Mr. Leroy's car. Can I please be excused?
Sure, boy.
Please don't bother.
Oh, I don't mind. Ellie can help me. Come on, Ellie. She can lift the car while I crawl under.
Give me, please.
Now, hold on. That kind of work ain't for girls. Jethro, you lift and let Ellie crawl under.
There's no question about it. He's headed for the border with my money and Miss Trigo.
Chief,
What?
we have Mr. Lester's file.
Good. I'll keep you posted. Well, where is it?
Would you bring in the file, Miss Trigo?
Here you are, Miss Hathaway.
I thought you were on your way to Mexico with Lester.
No, Mr. Drysdale, he dropped me at the corner.
Exactly what you can expect from his kind. By now, he's probably picked up some senorita.
Miss Trigo agrees with me that Mr. Lester simply could not do these things.
Fooled you too, eh?
Mr. Drysdale, that's the sweetest, meekest, mildest little man I ever met. And poor as a church mouse. Well, I hear he lives on practically nothing but beans.
Sure, he's been in training from Mexico.
Would you like to hear about his antique car?
You bet.
That car was purchased new by Mr. Lester in 1919 at a cost of $550. In fact, your father arranged for this bank to finance it.
Good old soft-hearted Dad. I bet he even gave the scoundrel easy payments.
Very easy. He's been making them for 46 years.
And he still has 3 years to go.
You get back to your desk.
Listen, I'm getting tired of holding this thing up. If there ain't nothing wrong under there, then come on out. Ellie Mae, that monkey don't know nothing about fixing cars.
Quietin' down, Jethro. Bessie was just handing me the tube.
What'd you find wrong?
Nothing. Trouble must be in that thing up front.
That's the engine, you dumb girl.
You better watch out who you calling dumb. I'm smart.
You're about as smart as that monkey.
Well, that's better.
How you doing, young'uns? Got the car fixed?
Well, not yet, Paul.
You know, I'm about of a notion that little feller needs fixing more than his car.
What you mean?
Well, turns out that we had his name backwards and he didn't have the gumption to tell us.
He is right skittish.
I believe that a good-sized bunny rabbit could face him down.
Reckon there's a way to help him?
I hope so. I sure would like to get a little starch in his spine before we leave town.
You mean to tell me that after 47 years they's given your job to a machine?
Well, I don't blame them, really. I'm getting old.
Nonsense, you're in the prime of life. My age.
But I'm not as fast as the machine, especially with this rheumatism in my hands.
Rheumatism?
Mm-hmm.
I got medicine that'll fix that.
Oh, don't bother.
I got it right here. What's that for?
I'd like to help with the dishes.
I'll fetch Ellie for that. Here. You swallow this. It's good for what ails you.
Chief, Mr. Lester's calling you.
They caught him, eh? Hello?
Mr. Drysdale,
Yes?
I have a message for you.
Well, let's have it.
One tablespoonful of rheumatism medicine done that?
Word of honor, that's all I give him.
This is the first time I've seen the little fellow look happy.
He's grinning like a baked possum.
Well, let's get busy and load up the truck. We got a long trip ahead of us.
Well, what we gonna do about Mr. Lester?
Yeah, suppose he's still sleeping when we's ready to start out.
Well, just lay him out front on the grass.
On the grass with rheumatism?
I'll leave a jug alongside of him. For a week or so, he won't care where he is. Hand them to me faster, Jed. The quicker we get packed, the quicker we'll get on the road.
You know, Granny, I've been thinking. By the time we get this stuff loaded, it'll be sundown.
So?
So? That truck ain't the best thing in the world to be driving after dark with no lights and all.
Well, we'll do what we done on our way out here. Have Ellie run ahead of the truck waving a lantern.
Yeah, but the trouble with that was we couldn't keep up with her.
Well, then have Ellie run slower or Jethro drive faster. 'Cause I ain't aiming to stay one more night in these Beverly Hills where we ain't wanted and we ain't needed.
Until today.
What do you mean?
Mr. Lester, I ain't never seen nobody that needs somebody worse than him.
Now, Jed, he ain't our lookout. We didn't ask him to come here.
We didn't have to. Jethro fetched him.
Well, then have Jethro fetch him back where he found him.
For Miss Drysdale and mean mouth and turn the hose on?
Now, Jed, you stop right where you are. I know what you're up to. You're wanting me to feel sorry for that little feller, so's I'll give up the idea of going home and stay here and help him.
That's right. Is it working?
Yeah, doggone it, it is.
Oh, my goodness. Where am I? What happened?
Well, you fell asleep.
Oh, those dogs.
Well, don't be scared. They's your friend.
My friends?
Well, show 'em, fellas.
They actually seem to like me.
Of course they do. That's 'cause you're a nice man. Dogs can tell.
Oh, my goodness.
Would you like to have one?
Oh, thank you, but my landlady wouldn't let me. She'd chase it away.
She wouldn't chase you away, would she, Hiram?
He's vicious, isn't he?
Oh, shucks, no. Shake hands with Mr. Lester.
Oh, you're awake, Mr. Lester. How you feeling?
Rheumatis gone?
Oh, yes, I feel wonderful.
Ellie, get your critters out of the parlor.
Well, Hiram ain't mine no more. He belongs to Mr. Lester now.
Oh, no, really, my landlady won't allow me to have a dog.
I will, too.
What?
What Granny means is that she'd like to be your landlady for a spell.
Me? Stay here?
Be mighty proud to have you.
Oh, you would, really?
Yeah, say you'll stay, please, Mr. Lester.
Oh, but I've never... I couldn't. Yes, I'll stay. I'd like very much to stay.
Here's the audit of Mr. Lester's books. It has just come off the computer.
How much did the little crook get away with?
His books balanced to the penny. Not one mistake in 47 years.
I don't believe it. Feed it all through the computer again.
I'm afraid that's impossible. As it printed its last digit, it blew up. Like poor Mr. Lester, it was overworked. The computer people say it will take several weeks to repair.
You mean I have no bookkeeping department?
That's about the size of it.
Well, we've got to locate Lester. He's the only one that can handle the workload.
It so happens he's waiting to see you now.
Oh, bring him in, bring him in.
Come in, Mr. Lester.
My favorite bookkeeper, Lester Leroy.
Mr. Drysdale, my name is Leroy Lester.
Of course. Now get down to your desk and get to work.
But I don't...
Now, I'm willing to forget everything that happened. You get your old job back with no cut in salary. And I'll even refinance that car again. Make those payments easier.
Mr. Drysdale, I'm taking an extended leave of absence. You see, I haven't had a vacation in 47 years.
But you can't afford one.
Oh, yes, I can. I'm staying with friends.
You haven't got any.
Where are you, Leroy?
In here, Jed.
Oh, hi to Mr. Drysdale, Miss Jane. Leroy, come on. Ellie Mae's waiting to give you a swimming lesson. After that, you and me's going hunting.
You two are friends?
You betcha we are. Come on, Leroy.
Oh, wait, Mr. Clampett. I need Leroy. He's my favorite bookkeeper. My only bookkeeper.
Oh, yeah, Miss Jane was telling me about your cipher machine blowing up. Well, we took care of that. Come on in, boy.
Jethro?
Boy, show Mr. Drysdale how you can cipher.
2 and 2 is 4. 4 and 4 is 8. 8 and 8 is,
16.
Yeah, thank you.
There, you see? Come on, Leroy.
16 and 16 is, 16 and 16 is, 6 and 6 is 12. Put down the 2 and there's the 1.
Now it's time to say goodbye to Jed and all his kin. They would like to thank you folks for kindly dropping in. You're all invited back next week to this locality to have a heaping helping of their hospitality. Hillbilly, that is. Set a spell. Take your shoes off. Y'all come back now. Here?
This has been a Filmways presentation.